So, zurück bei Aviary Attorney, der Nummer 1 im Telefonbuch oder so.
Yeah.
Im Telefonbuch von 1848. Und wir gehen zurück in die Main Hall.
Wann wurde das Telefonbuch? Nee, war ja Adressbuch, ne?
Ja, mir ist es noch nicht eingefallen.
Ja.
Did Monsieur have a good look around? I trust everything was in order. Again.
We had a good look. Thank you, Baron, but we actually have some questions for you.
Please, ask away. I have nothing to hide, just as my maid.
About what happened on the night of the murder.
Wir wollen die jetzt nicht verpfeifen, oder?
Doch. Ich glaube, das sollten wir tun.
Meinst
Aber
du?
wir machen erstmal das Normale. Ja. Baron Roguereal, I would like to ask you about your activities on the night of the murder.
Oh ho! Am I in trouble? Ich würde ihn in
Not at
Sicherheit
all.
wiegen.
Yeah. No, nothing like that. We're just gathering the full picture.
I see. Well, let me think. The guests arrived at 5 o'clock, and we all sat down for dinner in this very hall at 6. That part went magnificently. The photographer arrived at 7 o'clock, but it wasn't until 7:30 that we had our picture taken. My housemate discovered the crime scene soon after that.
I see.
Is there something else I can help you, Monsieur, with?
Ich glaube, wir sollten das wirklich tun.
Okay.
We met your housemate, Colleen Duho.
She's a gorgeous young lady, isn't she?
Ja, das erste.
Okay, dann verpfeifen wir sie nicht.
Yes, she was more than willing to help us with our investigation.
I'm glad to hear it. Did you two want to ask something else?
We're leaving. I think that will be all, Baron. Thank you very much for your time.
It was a pleasure. Have a delightful day, messieurs. Did you get all the information you needed, Falcon?
I hope so.
Don't worry. If everything goes wrong on the try, we could always just wing it.
Terrible. Just terrible. Let's head back to the office and get some rest. Ja, ich bin... Okay, vielleicht ist dieses Spiel... Ich meinte ja vorhin, es ist recht simpel, aber ich glaube, ich habe das falsch im Kopf.
Ich bin gerade am Überlegen, also... Wir waren jetzt am Dienstag an der Crime Scene, aber war das Verbrechen nicht am Freitag?
Ja.
Ah.
Freitag letzte Woche. Ja.
Dann gehen wir zum Studio de Robinho.
Ja. Ich meine, es war ein Hase.
Ich will's hoffen. Der Rabbit Pun ist schwer zu übersehen.
Ja. So this is the studio of a famous photographer. Shall we knock?
Wait, there's a note on the door. The magnificent and marvelous artist Monsieur Robito de Robinho is currently out on an artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse sees fit.
When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean?
I think it means that he is a pretentious bird brain, but in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now?
We should look anyway.
Ja, warum sollten wir gehen?
We should knock anyway.
Alright, I don't see the harm. Nope, doesn't look like he's in, Falcon.
We should break in.
Ja, ich fühl's auch.
Yeah. We should break in.
What? Are you serious?
Maybe.
Monsieur J.J. Falcon, I would have thought that a man of justice like yourself would be against such reckless displays of unlawful barbarism.
You're right.
Barbarism.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over.
It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back, I'm barging the door down.
Wait, just like that? Shouldn't we discuss this first? What in bird Jesus' name was that?
Jeez. You said you wanted to break in.
I thought we could find an open window. I didn't think you would turn into a bird-sized cannonball. Well, now we're out to make the most of it. This place is quite something. It's very...
Swanky?
Oh. I was going to say ostentatious.
That's just swanky talk for swanky.
We don't have time for this. The sound of a door being smashed in could be drawing unwanted attention. What?
Glaube ich
We
nicht
should
dran.
find anything that may help our case and get out. So,
Aber jetzt ist hier Musik. Und so rein von meinen Ohren her, ich glaube, ein leiser mache ich's.
Ja.
Warum ist eigentlich Voice Volume? Gibt es Voice Acting? Ich habe bisher noch keins gesehen.
na, das ist dieses was sie die ganze Zeit machen.
Ich hab's nicht gehört bisher.
Dann wenn achte darauf, wenn Falken spricht oder das Barris, dann geht sich dieses
Ach so.
ja. I see paints, inks and dyes. I'm not quite sure what the clear liquid in this bottle is.
I could taste test it.
You could, but we don't have time for hospital research right now, so let's not.
Okay, Farben.
Bilder.
Viele
Bilder von dir. Über alles. Bis in alle Zeit. I see a finely dressed dandy fellow upon the horse. Wow. I see a bourgeois tigress in profile.
Das ist sehr hilfreich.
This appears to be a photograph of a ladder, symbolic of climbing towards success, perhaps?
It looks more like a step ladder to me.
Oh no, we're not getting into that old argument.
What are you doing, step ladder?
A beautiful picture of Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from Notre Dame Cathedral itself. Oh,
Pariser Skyline in 1848? Na gut.
ja doch. Stimmt. This is a photograph of a castle somewhere in the countryside.
You know, I once had an uncle who once fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die?
Oh, he got demoted.
Ah, terrible. A butterfly, or maybe a moth? It's difficult to tell in black and white.
Fair enough.
A lighthouse? No, wait, it's a man in a top hat. Actually, if I squint and turn my head sideways...
It's a black smudge, Falcon.
This is a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell.
That reminds me, how illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling through a person's belongings.
Oh.
Ich glaube, wir sagen a little legal. Ich will nicht sagen, it's cool, we're lawyers.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's illegal, yes, but we're trying to solve a murder case, so it's forgivable.
Oh ho, so you're saying that a small act of evil is justifiable if it results in a greater good?
Don't put my words in my beak. This is a picture of a fence.
It's a fancy photograph. It leaves the viewer defenseless. Out of all the pictures here, I would pick it as my favorite. Okay, I'm done. No more fence puns.
Oh Gott, ey. Schlimmer als meine. A picture of a sailing ship on a windy day.
Ja, das war sehr hilfreich bisher. A chandelier, you should get one of those for the office.
I don't have the money for that sort of luxury.
But maybe you
Na.
will.
Ja, und dann jetzt die Tür.
Hey Falcon, look.
What? It's just an easel.
No, look at what's on the easel.
Oh wow, this must be a copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. There's no question about it. I see a housemaid, Dame Cataline, and I think that's Seigneur Petreux, Cataline's father.
So what shall we do? Do we just take this?
We should take it.
Ich will's haben. Da fehlen mir entscheidende Personen drauf.
We've come this far. We may as well borrow it.
Studio photograph. Is there anything else we need to do here?
Gucken, ob wir noch was machen können.
Ich glaube nicht.
Ich meine auch nicht. Ja.
Dann lass uns verschwinden.
Ja. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves.
Sounds good to me. Uh-oh.
Oh mon Dieu, what happened to my door? Was willst du?
Weißt du was? Lass die Wahrheit sagen.
Ja, lass mich jetzt sagen. Well, Monsieur Rubinho, it's like this. You see, we are attorneys who have been hired for the purpose of...
Raven! Raven did it! We saw the whole thing!
What are you doing, Sparrowson? I've got this.
I'm not going to jail because your conscience is acting up.
Nobody's going to jail, just take it easy. Oh, damn ravens, always after our shiny objects, am I right? Yeah, that's right. Let's make a move. Trial day is approaching fast.
Right, let's go.
Wow. Okay.
Your choices really matter.
Ja.
Palais de Justice.
Yeah, let's go. Mal gucken, ob wir diesen Fall hart verkacken oder nicht.
Ich will einmal kurz ins Office gehen und über Zeug rübergehen, was wir haben.
Mach das.
Falcon, it's the trial day. Stop messing around. We need to head to the courthouse already.
I was just...
No, we're going to be late. Okay, ich darf
du
nicht,
kannst
ich
das.
verstehe.
Am letzten Tag das anscheinend nicht, ja.
Dann gehen wir mal zum Palais de Justice. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wie man das ausspricht. Awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you nervous, Falcon? Oh wait, das kann ich ja mal.
Ja.
Okay, Evidence. Wir haben eine Zigarette. Nee, Moment mal, Zigarre.
Ja. Wir haben die Zigarre,
wir haben Missing Clock Hands. Also es ist relativ unwahrscheinlich, dass er die genauen Zeiten weiß, wenn er in dem Raum ist. Er war probably nicht in dem Raum. Er being der Löwe. Ob das mattert, keine Ahnung.
Ich glaube, dass mit dem Cutlery war so, dass auch der Mörder noch das Besteck genommen hat. Sozusagen. Und ja. Wir haben die Kamera, in dem ein kleiner Dingen sitzt und zeichnet.
Okay, ja. Wir, Auftraggeber, der ist auf dem Bild drauf. Ah ja, Quark.
In Ilmenner.
Angeklagte, der Tote. Ob das Zeugen sind?
Ja, ich glaube schon.
Oh. Ich hoffe, das ist nicht alles für den ersten Fall.
Nee, das ist allgemein. Also manche Charaktere kommen öfter vor.
Zum Beispiel der Frosch.
Nee, aber der nicht, aber die Kängurus zum Beispiel. Ich weiß, die kommen später bei einem Fall noch vor, wo du irgendwas brauchst und je nachdem, wie viel du denen gegeben hast, helfen die dir oder nicht.
Okay. Nein, natürlich sind wir nicht nervös.
Nein, wer kommt da drauf? Nope, we've got this case in the bag. Look at my feathers, see? Totally unruffled.
Wow, well, at least one of us is feeling confident.
Monsieur Falcon, petit Sparrison. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things.
Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case.
That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through.
Let's move it along, fellas.
Oh, I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon.
We will.
We will. Oh.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. You've got one shot, one opportunity.
Oh Gott, der Hase ist der Ankläger.
Du bist der Judge Maxime.
Alright, settle down everyone, settle down. Is everybody here?
JJ Falcon, present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Remington present. The ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn, that's not it. Oh gosh, where are my notes? Oh nein, was
I knew it.
Knew what?
Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes.
Oh, was he smart?
No, he always got the second worst marks in the class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his 2 rabbit feet. Unless he improved considerably, you might already have to straw him the bag.
That's good to know. But say, Sparrison, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest?
Let's not talk about that. I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. I take the 5th.
Here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Hey Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8?
Oh, those two birds with the funny heads are assessors, the associate judges.
Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Catalin Demio. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand.
Oh gosh, we are there already. Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerti, into the witness stand.
Inspector Volerti, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
As to will, Your Honor, I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Monsieur, Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Juli Volerti. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice.
Nicht der Vetania City Killer.
Yeah. My path begins 18 years ago.
Let's stick to the questions, Inspector.
Of course, Your Honor.
Oh great, I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with this lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering.
So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. Then perhaps you can talk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival. Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rogueway. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline, de Meow. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Greenway with his blood on her paws. Well, this sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. Oh no, no more questions, Your Honor. Bloody paws, nobody told me that detail.
Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony.
Of course, I know this.
I've played Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. To find flaws in this testimony, you select a key phrase that you find suspicious and Falcon will press the witness for information.
Ja, genau. Jetzt kommen wir zu dem Gameplay-Part des Spiels.
There are questions to bring truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having the time wasted. Select a statement to question. Housemaid, scene of the crime. Livestock und corpse, blood on her paws. Ich meine,
Also
Blood on her paws wegen dem fehlenden Besteck ist obvious, aber ich weiß halt nicht, gibt es hier das Evidence präsenten oder muss ich das halt jetzt pressen?
Evidence präsenten kommt erst dann, wenn es wirklich von dir gefragt wird. Also du kannst es jetzt nicht automatisch machen. Aber ich hätte auch gesagt, wir machen Blood on her paws, weil es wurde ja nicht gesagt.
Ja, aber das ist ja probably true. Wir wissen nur eine Begründung dafür. Und es geht ja darum, seine Glaubwürdigkeit jetzt in Frage zu stellen.
Ja, aber ich glaube, wir sollten erstmal erklären, warum sie Blut an ihren Pfoten hatte. Das wissen die ja nicht.
Ja, aber deswegen meine ich ja präsenten.
Ich würde sagen, wähl das erstmal aus. Und wir gucken, wie es weitergeht.
Mir geht es jetzt so darum, dass unwichtige Sachen nicht gepresst werden können. Sollen.
Nee, das kriegst du schon mit, wenn, das ist auch wie in Phoenix Wright so eine Bar, die dann erscheint, wenn du was Falsches gemacht hast. Inspector, you say Dame Cataline had blood on her paws. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Ja, genau so.
Dann whose?
Ja, genau. Whose blood was it? Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Greenway's, of course. How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Franken. The blood in Dame Cataline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Greenway. A judge Fogg's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions.
I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Greenway?
I do. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time-wasting, Franken. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? From the steak?
Ja, ich hoffe, dass ich nicht den roten Hering benutzen muss. Nee, aber es ist ja ein Bloody Steak.
Ja. On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak.
Is this true, Monsieur Rappington?
Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Wait, don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No.
Intriguing. Pretty convincing.
You gained a little favor with the jury. So, Inspector Rouletti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? No, hold on, just a minute, Frank. You're overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Kathleen is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was not brought up with a flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. And the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. And how could she possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that is a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet.
Banquet.
But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced the Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of them in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the Rogray residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Rogray approached us about this very subject last night.
Innocent, perhaps? What a twist!
So geil, Alter.
What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak, misplaced silverware. Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lex, my investigation judge, I assure you, I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Heh!
Oh dear.
Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case.
Fine, so be it, messieurs, until next time. Next time, there will be no next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Warum kriegen wir keine Witness?
Keine Ahnung. Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robitio di Rubino and the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Also, das ist halt echt. Könnt ihr nicht mal Leute holen, die du sprichst?
Monsieur Robinho, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. No, warte mal. It's a little cliché to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the current record? As anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me, I am the great Monsieur Robitio Rubinho, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. Oh no, I just don't take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste to une pipe. You may have seen my works in hip magazines like Le Branche or C'est Choqué. I send you tweets if you like. Ja, you may have seen my works in hip magazines like Die Branche oder von der Chukit. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet?
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already.
Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Rubinho, but let's get down to business. Could you tell us the activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rogray to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rogray and left.
Like a true artist.
with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph?
I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could see all for yourselves. Ourselves, yeah.
Very good. Let's take a closer look.
Aha.
Uh-huh.
My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Rockwell, the lion who hosted the event.
Warte, Moment mal. Da sind doch Zeiger an der Uhr im Hintergrund.
Auch das?
On the left, we see Signor Potfort de Miao, the father of the defendant, the Cataline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Colleen, who I suspect might snuck into the picture and invited. And as you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenville. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline de Miao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree?
Just a moment, Monsieur Remington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Franken. I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue.
Behind the photograph subjects, we all see a wall clock with the time at 7:30. Now, why is the time significant? Well, as Inspector Wallerty told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place.
Ich habe keinen Autopsiebericht gesehen.
So, do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself.
Hey, Falcon. The photograph doesn't seem right. Looks different to the one we borrowed from Rubinho's studio.
I see it too. Our photograph shows Colleen de Hoel, Cataline, and Seigneur Pourtrou. But Monsieur Rubinho's photograph shows Baron Roguerail, where Dame Cataline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way.
You should just slam the evidence down. Be like, BAM! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom is out of order. Case closed.
I can't do that.
Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words.
No. I mean, I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If we were represented, Monsieur Rubinho would ask how we acquired it and the whole trial could derail. In the worst case scenario, I could lose my legal license and we would be arrested for theft.
Oh, well, we don't want that.
No, we don't. I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. The defense may proceed.
It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence.
No one asked you, though.
Yeah. Select this.
7 p.m. Set up my camera.
Ich glaube, wir müssen das Fotograf. Ja.
Ja.
Weil das andere so 7 kann gut sein, dass er da kommt, ne? Und ja. Wir haben ja immerhin, also du hast schon richtig gesagt, wir müssen es, glaube ich, über die Uhr lösen. Weil die Uhr ist ja sozusagen nichts, was wir nicht wissen können. Das heißt, wir müssen das Fotograf angreifen. Die Fotografie. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. I see a mistake in the photo. Just to clarify, Monsieur Rubinho, photographs are direct reflection of reality, are they not?
That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies.
This is most curious because
I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible! I just told you, monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produced are flawless. Taken, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific. Certainly. So, und dann die Uhr. Ja. The clock in this photograph. There's nothing right about it.
Was?
When isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client. Don't give me that cokey tone, Monsieur Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. Und dann die Uhr. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Grenier has no hands. It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rograil or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubinho, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. There was an error in the printing process. An error precisely where the clock's hand should be. Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubinho, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in a photograph just to simplify the editing process. Your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph you have taken at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubinho created a perfect alibi.
No.
Who you? Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why was Monsieur Rubinho cursed?
Coerced.
Coerced? Bribed? Threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubinho. Fine, you've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all.
You did it. You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Greenway.
What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes, to print the photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered. By whom? I dare not to say.
Monsieur Rubinho, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all.
Respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names.
His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? This is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubinho, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course.
Kurze Ancient Regime bezeichnet ursprünglich und im engeren Sinne die Regierungsform der Bourbonen in Frankreich vor der Französischen Revolution.
Huh.
Ah. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs.
Intriguing.
Hmm.
Pretty convincing.
So, the location painted on somewhat, it doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline is absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant.
Don't be dense, Monsieur Remington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events.
Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that the other parts were too. Is it possible that Dame Cataline was painted out? If worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
Then would I say fucking did the housemaid paint off the photographer, or was it Senor Protuartemio perhaps?
I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive. It wouldn't make sense for Senor Pourtois to implicate his own daughter.
Hey, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Roguewheel deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline? Because that would be most outlandish theory, yet the Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Monsieur Remington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor, however.
Mayhaps I should offer my opinion.
Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor. And yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Did I stutter? Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections.
As a matter of fact,
Tread carefully, Monsieur Falcon. Or should I call you Inspector Vivi Kestrel?
genau das meinte ich.
I hear that impersonating a police officer is a major criminal offense. It would be a shame if word were to spread.
No objections here. Please continue, Baron.
Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening.
Okay, Baron Walkway. On the night of the
The initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Greenwheel left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Signor Pourtois, Monsieur Rubinho, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid him no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Greenwheel and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help.
Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from here.
From there. I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Do you doubt my integrity, garçon?
I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron.
Very well then, hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Roguewell, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
So.
So, ja.
Dinner when the bill arrived, Mr. Green left. Vielleicht könnte man den Garten hinterfragen, wo man sich den angucken wollte, oder?
Mm. Entweder das oder Monsieur Greenway.
Ja, ich glaube, Mr. Greenway ist besser, weil, ne? Relations und so.
Das Ding ist ja, dass er selber gefolgt ist und nicht sie. Sie ist ja später erst, weil er muss sie ja erst ermordet haben.
Ja, true.
Ja, also eins von den beiden machen wir mal so.
Ja. We're on Rogue. I have some questions about Monsieur Greenway. Greenway.
God rest her soul. Hm,
Wahrscheinlich erstmal die Relation hinterfragen, oder?
ja, die
Das
sind
ist
ja
doch immer gut.
beide Shareholder von diesen Railway Company Dingser und wenn
Ja.
einer drauf geht,
Dann gibt es mehr Profit für den anderen.
probably. So, wenn er die Katze halt getargetet hätte, hätte die Tochter wahrscheinlich das gekriegt und nicht er und so kriegt er
Ja.
wahrscheinlich noch was ab.
What was your relation to Monsieur Greenway prior to his demise?
We were business partners. Monsieur Greenway, Senior Pourtois Demois, and myself all owned a third share in an up-and-coming railway company.
Excuse the crassness of the question, but that means that you and Seigneur Pourtois would now own half of the company each, correct?
Correct. I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But, Monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Greenway and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing.
Of course.
Ja,
Ja.
warum in den Garten ging, ist schon eine interessante Frage.
Yep. Why did Monsieur Greenway leave to visit the garden?
I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear.
Oh, I see. But that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it?
How so?
Well, Monsieur Greenway felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived, and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness.
And surely your suggestion that Monsieur Greenway's food was poisoned in some way.
Weiß ich, dafür haben wir irgendwie keine Anhaltspunkte.
Ja, aber ich würde es trotzdem. Ich würde es trotzdem machen, oder? Die Zigarre?
Ja,
Nee.
war ich gerade
Doch, der Hering! Doch, Hering! Die haben doch Hering gegessen und der könnte roh gewesen sein.
Hm. Ich weiß nicht, ich könnte mir schon vorstellen, dass da irgendwie was von der Zigarre mit dem Essen war bei ihm.
Also ich würde sagen, ja. Wir haben auf jeden Fall was. I am. The events are too closely tied to be a mere coincidence. I'm not expert, but I think the steak would have been perfect medium to carry a small amount of poison.
My word, what a revelation. What evidence do we have for this poisoning? Bearing in mind, of course, that the coroner found no signs of poisoning and no poison was found in the crime scene.
Oh. Well, to be completely honest, there's no hard evidence of poisoning, but we can speculate.
No, Monsieur Falcon, we cannot.
Oh, okay, never mind. Shit.
There's no
Okay.
need to bring outlandish theories like poisoning into the equation. Monsieur Greenway always had a soft stomach. It's really no surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak.
Okay, dann war das auf jeden Fall nicht der Fall. Oh doch, weißt du, warum der Garten richtig ist? Vielleicht wegen der Zigarre, die wir gefunden haben. Baron, we saw the murder scene in your garden for ourselves. When was the last time you visited? Baron Rogre, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden?
As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Und da haben wir den Evidence.
Yeah. Years, you say?
Indeed.
That's not right. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but claim does not hold up scrutiny.
Oh? And why is that?
Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently.
Balderdash! My word is gold! Show the court the so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden.
Die Zigarre. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt that could belong to anybody and...
Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself.
Okay, sorry, Baron.
That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years, but naturally after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin.
Sie reckon this is a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Ja, das wäre es natürlich, wenn es in den unteren Teil gefallen wäre.
Yeah. I would find it believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with a great inconvenience.
And a little peddling.
The cigar butt was not dropped, it was deliberately hidden.
There are any number of possible explanations.
Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is that you, Baron Roguerail, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities.
Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be?
You want me to spell it out? Fine, let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Roguerail, murdered Monsieur Greenway. That is what you were trying to keep hidden.
Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen!
It is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of highest order.
Shut up.
Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no means motive or opportunity.
Nicht so, als hätten wir nicht literally alles davon bisher bewiesen.
Yeah, no evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Rabbit. Every piece of the evidence points to Baron Roguerail as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron Lee certainly had the means. His lion's claws are sharp as a surgeon's blade. Guarding a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Rubinho confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws.
Ridiculous! I would never threaten a man with violence.
You want the motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his rival company increased from 1/3 to 1/2.
This is preposterous!
And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guest in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said.
Prosecutor, are you just going to let the slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something. Object.
I am.
Oh, you're pitifully useless.
After executing the murder, the Baron finds himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence: his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So, out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Signor Portor de Miao, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised.
This is an outrage! Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic.
No, there's only one outrage here.
The one of Dragaran.
That is that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're bourgeois of the worst kind.
How dare you, garçon! The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I am nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist.
No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs.
You incredulous whelp. I ought to gut you right here and now like a damned frog. Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the conciergerie with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. Ich find's toll, dass er ihn gerade einfach Old Man genannt hat.
Ja.
This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add?
Well, in a manner of speaking, anyway, to be honest, no.
Then I shall now confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time. Actually, that was pretty incredible.
Thank you. I just hope it was enough.
What do you mean? You just proved Cadeline's innocence. We get a no guilty verdict for sure.
Sparrowson, I think you misunderstand something important about the justice system.
What's that?
I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Cataline's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there's a significant possibility that she is not guilty.
I'm not sure that I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with his initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find defendant Dame Cataline de Miao to be not guilty. Nice.
Nice.
Monsieur Falcon, petit Sparrowson, you did it!
Yeah, I suppose we did it, didn't we?
We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon!
I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement.
I'm so proud of you both.
You'll get one bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses.
You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon.
It was nothing.
I very much like the way you pinned the murder onto the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius.
Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth given the facts of the case.
Oh, but I am guilty.
Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. This case is over. Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Oh wow! I thought the goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. Alright, I spell it out for you. I murdered Monsieur Grenville.
Meow meow, motherfucker.
I saw him in the garden all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand? Business?
Ich muss noch mal kurz pausieren.
Ja. Jo. Hallo, willkommen zurück. Business?
Business.
To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk or frog was the weakest link.
Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Roquet's cigar, but hidden in the garden.
Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose it was putting too much faith in the brains of Parisi's finest.
But Falcon proved that Monsieur Robinho's photograph was edited.
It was edited? I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Greenway in the garden.
Aber warum hat er gesagt his claws wegen ihrem Vater?
Wahrscheinlich, ja.
Ah,
My papa
okay.
knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Robinho's to paint me over Baron Rockwell and to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish ordering either photograph by trial.
Ach so, lol. Von Zweif.
It was a good thing Monsieur Falcon was imaginative, because that could have gone very badly.
Wäre es ein Game Over gewesen, wenn wir den Fall verloren hätten?
Ich glaube, du kannst den ersten Fall nicht verlieren.
What's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeois kitty like me.
I think you should leave.
Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, petit Sparrow.
Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon? Continue. Ja, aber nicht jetzt, denn die Aufnahme läuft schon wieder eine Stunde.
Eieiei.
Gut, dann machen wir beim nächsten Mal bei Akt 2 weiter. Bis dann.
Yay!